Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tammy M. Lilly. I am on live with you, and today is our book fair. Today is the day we come and we showcase different authors talking about their books, talk about the bookstore, and all those wonderful things. So before I bring on this very familiar face that you've seen from last time, let me quickly just introduce myself, and then I'm gonna open the floor up for Mr. Keelan. Um, my name is Tammy M. Lilly, and I am the owner of KRC Companies. KRC Companies consist of KRC Tax and Business Services, where we take care of your tax preparation needs. So, as you know, we are in this tax preparation season, so please make sure you think about Tammy M. Lilly, Tammy Lilly, KRC Tax and Business Services for your tax preparation needs, whether you're a business owner or you're an individual. We've been in the industry for over 20 years, so we are much capable of handling your tax situation. But today, most importantly, we're going to be talking about KRC Bookstore. KRC Bookstore was birthed from me being a tax professional and deciding after going to a seminar, the young lady speaking about how do you going to set yourself apart from any other person in your industry. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should become an author. Maybe I should write my very first book. And I'm gonna share that book with you a little bit later. But it's called Why Your Refund Is So Low. So that particular book is a book that talks about your foundational things in your business, getting your business right so you can prepare taxes. So I'm gonna show that book to you a little later. And then I could not be an author without paying homage to my faith. My faith, my Lord and Savior, that is the ruler of my life. I co-wrote three devotionals. Right now we're at our third one. It just got released. It's Prayers for the Boss Babe, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And I'm going to share those with you as well a little bit later. And then last and definitely not least, I have the very last book, which is a women empowerment group. It's called Women Lead. Heels are optional. So with these books that I have in my catalog, that I wrote and co-wrote, I figure, okay, well, I'm a bookstore all by myself. So let me go ahead and start promoting my books on a full e-commerce website. So anytime I do anything, I always try to figure out how I could bless others in the midst of what I'm doing. So I created KRC Bookstore as it is now, where we have an e-commerce bookstore and we are mobile. We've traveled to various places in the local Houston area as well as we travel outside the Houston area. So at the beginning of this year, we had our very first book tour stop. It was in Minneapolis. So I went up there for a Martin Luther King celebration called MLK Now 2022. And so that was our very first stop on our book tour, and we're going to do many, many more as well, some more local traveling spots. So that's what we do, as well as we do the book fairs. So we're inviting authors to come on and talk about their book, talk about themselves. We want you to come and we want you to help celebrate their books with us, as well as if something resonates with you, please, reach out and purchase that book as well. We have a lot of plethora, a variety of books, but ultimately we're about inspiration, empowerment, and education. Inspiration, we want to inspire you. Empowerment, we want you to be empowered. We want you to know that you have power. Your voice have power. You have power. Things that you do have power. And we want you to be educated, because the Bible teaches us that my people perish due to the lack of knowledge. So we have some self-help business books inside the bookstore. So that's what we're about. So I'm not going to stand in front of you and talk too much about myself, because it's not always about me. It's not about me. It's about this platform. So without any further ado, we want to bring Mr. Keelan on, who I was our last guest host, and he's going to be introducing himself and telling you about his book and things that he's doing. Mr. Keelan?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. I had myself muted again, like I tend to do when I'm hosting, to make sure I don't say anything out of place. But Miss Tammy, I want to thank you personally for having me on last week. I can't tell
Yes, sir.
you how invigorating that was to hear uh, those stories and those items from the four creative
Yes, sir.
people that we had last week. I was going to say authors, but I know Miss Shayla doesn't consider herself an author, at least not yet. So, but it was really great to be able to sit up there and talk to them about their experiences and what influenced them and encouraged them to put out what they put out there. So once again, I
Mhm.
thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and
Thank you.
be in front of KRC on tonight. Um, I know I was supposed to talk about it a little bit more last week, my book, but I was so enthralled with the four ladies who were speaking that I just kind of wanted to kind of breeze past my book on last week. So I guess I'm here on Front Street tonight. So um, and I know, the typical thing for KRC is to focus more so on those things that are inspirational and more about helping you learn and gain something for yourself. Well, the way I fit into that with my book, Crescent Moons, is about representation. I wrote this book. I'm going to tell you, I went and wrote this book because I'm from Marrero. It's a town in the New Orleans area. Harvey, Gretna, West Wego. I'm a West Bank guy. That's who I am. That's where I'm from. Many times I've seen where people will create movies or art or whatever they create in New Orleans is just kind of represented. The area is kind of represented as kind of like a background, something that is worth mentioning but not worth really exploring. Well, when I created Crescent Moons, I wanted to bring forth the culture without, somebody kind of trying to overplay certain parts of it. I want to bring some of the dialect and some of the things that we say and do and have had happen in our area that's probably vastly overlooked, but things that we've experienced over the years and put them into some stories and kind of glorifying some things, of course, because it's fiction, but still being able to present those to everybody in a different light than what others have probably presented New Orleans and the general areas in as of late in entertainment. This first chapter of this story actually started out as a dare. My ex-wife was working on something and she found a prompt, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about the prompt, but we were writing, we competed and wrote a prompt against one another. Uh, and some of the friends liked her, some of the friends like mine, but I was too busy to pick it up and continue it at that time. So fast forward to roughly 2020, maybe when I picked it up again, and actually I was inspired by, if you all must know, I walked into Walmart and I saw this book, didn't open it, didn't have um, any idea what was in it at the time. I just knew that I saw this cover and I was inspired, and I said to myself, Keelan, you have a story to finish. And so I didn't get this on that day. I actually started writing, went back to writing my own on the day. In fact, my girlfriend, I as I started to write it, I let her see the first chapter of it that I had from back when, and she was like, "Where's the rest of it?" After she read the first chapter, and that's when I knew, okay, now I really know between that cover and what Adrian just said to me, I need to continue writing this story, and so I did. This story is, like I said, it's about and encompasses the culture over years of the greater New Orleans area. And I also plan to take it to different parts of the state, but I focus mainly in this one on the local New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank area. I joke a little bit about the rivalry that used to exist more so back in the day than it does now. But it's what I call it's a crime adventure thriller. I tend to refer to it as maybe the genreless wonder, as I joke about it, because I touch on many things, even though it's crime, it's not always serious. And though sometimes it's serious, it's sometimes very funny. And I want to give something to people, as I mentioned last week. I wanted to give something to people to enjoy, to adults to enjoy. So, it's created. There's maybe a slight mention of like superheroes, but not supernatural beings, just people that are looked up to and the flaws that are in them. Um, and that's with anything. With any of us, we have some people that we look up to, but they are not without flaw. And this is something that this explores. Yeah, though there's plenty of action and plenty of drama and laughter and everything that's in it, what you do get to see is that these heroes are humanized, as opposed to having these these human beings that are overpowered. We have these powerful beings that are humanized in this book, and that's something that's more realistic to me. I was wanted to create an original story about an original area. Too often we see these recycled stories now. I mean, right now, what tonight's the premiere of Batman. How many different Batman movies have we seen come out over the years? I think I just watched the Michael Keaton one maybe like 2, 3 weeks ago. The original with Jack Nicholson and the bad graphics. How many times can you make that story? How many Supermen have we seen? It seems that society wants to use old formulas and tweak them a little bit. Well, I want to come out with something of mine that my people could relate to, that was original and told a brand new story. So, um, with this, it doesn't stop here. This is actually a part of a series. I actually have the graphic for the new, and I can't pull it up right now, but I'll tell you the next one is This is Crescent Moons. This is a play on words. One of my favorite movies growing up was Harlem Nights. So this was kind of my ode. This title was an ode to that. The the artwork that you see here was done by a good friend of mine, James Flowers, a very talented guy from White Castle, Louisiana. It's an area just a little bit outside of Baton Rouge. Very, very talented guy who's doing great things and doing great art shows right now. Um, and he and I are going to actually work on the cover work for the third book at some point. But um, I say that if you want to find something that you could laugh at, maybe cry at, or that you can really, really just go in through the wave of emotions and enjoy with some action, I would say pick up Crescent Moon.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Keelan, for sharing your vision of your book
Yes, ma'am.
with us, and where it came from. And I'm sure there are some people who are out there who will absolutely love to hear about that. And laughter is good for the soul. Laughter is empowering. Laughter is inspirational. So definitely make sure you go to Mr. Keelan's website. And what's your website, Mr. Keelan?
Yeah, so it's you can find it on Amazon. Um, you can also, if you look on the K.E. Robinson official page on Facebook, also reachable through uh, the underscore Robinsonian underscore exhibit on Instagram. And I can also be found on Twitter as the Liquid Lion.
Awesome. Awesome. We're definitely going to have to make sure we check that out. And as I always say, books, hashtag books are great. You will see it from me all the time.
Yes,
Hashtag
ma'am.
books are great. Hashtag books are great gifts. So even if you're not
Yes.
really big on reading, which you need to be, if you're not, you need to be. So even if you're not, somebody who is, know somebody who's going through some things and need that laughter, need that inspiration. Take this book, and is this something that a young adult can read, like a teenager?
I wouldn't, and it's only because of a particular part of a particular chapter. Like I know kids I used to coach that are like 18 that have read it because their mom, knew me and allowed them to read it. I typically was a little bit more because like I said, I made it for adults, but it's not so, you know, it's not 50 Shades of Grey or anything like that. But I did make it with intentions for adults to be able to enjoy it because there's language in there, there's situations in there that are more adult
Okay.
centered.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, adults like to get Easter baskets too. So put it off in
Right?
there for your adult. You got an adult that a big old kid that loves to have them some candy and so forth. Take that book and stick that book on in that Easter basket.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
definitely, de- definitely thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now you have your other project. Now is you
Yes.
said this is a sequel to it?
Yes. The second one is Mystery in Mactown, which is a play from specifically where I came from, Marrero. I switched the name because that's the park I used to play for when I played sports out there, Mac Park, before they
Okay.
changed the name to what they changed it to now. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So not only can you get that book, the first one, get the second one because hey, once you get to the end of that first one, you definitely gonna want to know what's happening with these characters in the second one. So
right.
go ahead and just save yourself a little postage. Go ahead and get both of them all at once. So
Yes, yeah.
so definitely, definitely. Before we move on, we're going to talk about some of the other books that are in the bookstore,
Yep.
as well as a couple of devotionals that I have co-wrote into, as well as some other things that's in. But we have a lot of books that's in the bookstore, and we're always consistently always trying to find more books to go inside the bookstore, give you lots of variety. Um, so before we go do that, we're gonna run this real quick commercial, and we're gonna come back and talk about these other books. All right, all right. Welcome back, welcome back. We had a guest last time that came on, Miss Shayla, and I wanted me to show some of her products that she has inside the bookstore as well. Um, this is one of her books, one of her journals that she's done. This actually is a meeting journal. Um, so she puts this together. She puts a really nice cover on the front of it. As you can see, it's plastic covered, so that way it's protected from the elements. And it says one day or day one, it's your decision. So this is something that you can look at each and every time you go into one of your meetings of your meetings of your business. Um, so it has a front section, which is kind of a to do. This is the color I asked for to be in, so she can customize it to various colors. I asked for purple because that's one of my colors in my logo. So this is talking about my work week. This is what my work week would look like. This is where my priorities would go, if you can see that. And this is where my notes would go. And so she has a section for each one. So this is something that it doesn't matter what time of the year that you get started with it. This is something that you could customize. So, for example, we're in March, with first week of March. You may get this, and you don't have to worry about flipping down to the first week of March because you started right on off. That's the beginning of the book. And then it has a section in here for meetings. So that is the meeting section of it. It has a date area. You put the attendees on there. You put next steps on there. You put deadlines on there, and you write your meeting notes. So it has a whole section of that. So this is an awesome book to carry around with you. And like I said, it has a plastic covering on it, so it protects it from the elements. Um, so you take it to your meetings, whether you have a meeting over the phone, have a meeting over Zoom. You know that nowadays we do a lot of Zoom meetings, or you having an in-person meeting. So this is very nice, very nifty to take along with you to each one of your meetings. So this is my personal one. So if you want one, you gotta order it, and she could customize the front for you. So she does have some versatility with a lot of things that she does. Um, this right here is a journal. Again, her books are plastic coated on the front and the back, so it protects it from the elements. So if you're in an area that may have have a little wetness, a little dirt, and so forth, you don't have to really worry about it. And then two, if you're a person like me, I carry a lot of stuff in my purse, so this is a nice compact size for you. And it says you can't take care of anyone until you take care of you. So this reminds you, you know in the midst of your journaling, it has in the front, it has a my week section. You put your goals up there, what you plan on doing for that day, and in the back it has a 5-minute journal area. So, and then it has journal prompts, things to kind of help you along. One of the questions that she asked: what is your biggest inspiration? Who motivates you? What are you most thankful for? Describe yourself in 7 words. So she has a very, very nice area up there to kind of help you along the way. If you need some help with your journaling, these are some of the things that you can, talk about in your 5-minute journal. You don't have to, do 3 hours worth of journaling. 5 minutes of journaling, goes a long way. And so those are the couple of books that she has with me. Now I have the bigger ones, so if you want something that's bigger, um these come in the bigger size. These come in an 8 by 11, but this is an A5. As well as she does planners. Now, I don't have any of her planners with me right now, but she does planners as well. The planners can be customized. She's really, really big on positive self-image of our community. Oh, and also she does notebooks. Now, she did make a comment and says, I'm just this. What she does is wonderful. Look at this notebook. Beautiful, isn't it? It says, God says that you are unique. It has a scripture on there. You are special. It has a scripture on there. Lovely, precious, strong, chosen, forgiven. So these are some very, very good things to look back at as you have your notebook. So if you have a kid in your life that's still in school, get one of these journals. They're only $5. And again, they're plastic coated on the front and the back. This is a yellow, has yellow in it, but she does do the ones in a white. So yeah, there it is. This is one of the ones that's in white. Unbothered, 24/7. Isn't that beautiful? So yes, yes indeed, yes indeed. So that's pretty much the journals I have in the bookstore. The notebooks that's in the bookstore. Um, we have thus far. And like I said, we're consistently adding more. So now that I talked about our journals, now that I talked about our notebooks and so forth, we have so many more books in the bookstore. I just cannot cover them all. But I'm going to try to cover as many as I can today. Maybe talk about a couple more of them with you today, just to give you an idea of what we have. These are the devotionals that are in the bookstore. These is volume 1, Prayers of the Boss Babe. This is the ones I talked about earlier. And this is volume 2, Prayers of the Boss Babe. And it says, caution, she doesn't pray fair. So both of these were number one bestsellers, Amazon bestsellers, as well as Volume Two is the number one bestseller as well. So um, let's see what I'll talk about today. What other ones? Um, I want to talk about my butterfly transformation. Now, this is a journal as well, but this has other readings in it. It has a journal section. So isn't that beautiful? Now, if you look like a butterflies transform to different things. They start out as a caterpillar, they start out as this hard rock thing, and then it blossoms into this butterfly with all these beautiful colors. So, no matter what you have your rough moments in your life, but you're also in the midst of your rough moments, you get to transform into this beautiful butterfly. So this what this particular book talks about. This is from Miss Reeves, My Butterfly Transformation, a journaling experience. So she has different sections in here where she has a phase 3, phase 1. Um, so just give you a little sneak peek. It started out with your phase 1. You have to go through stages in order to get to different places in your life. So, and then she has a journaling section after that. So she gives you something to think about, and then she gives a section for you to write it down. So, and last and definitely not least, don't want to talk too long with you. The last and not least, we have let's see. We're going to talk about this one. This is by Miss LeBlue Cafe. It's 30 Days of Truth. This is from Miss Brittany LeBlue. She is out of California. And I talk about this lady so highly because it was an event last year. And the event was in the Houston, Texas area. This young lady took a flight all the way from California to come to this event to sell her books. That's dedication. That is true dedication. Because as authors, and I'm talking to the authors now, as authors, a lot of times when we get into doing books, we think, okay, well, the stage of writing a book is, free writing. I get my draft, I get, my editing done, I get my formatting done, I got this cover, I got my excuse me, my 3D mock-up, and you get all the way down to the actual printed item. And a lot of times we think we're done. We think the investment is done. But now that you have a tangible item in your hand, now you have to market it. I mean, when somebody makes, if I'm talking about this item right here, this is a light bulb, really nice light bulb going out in it, but really nice light bulb. It's nice and bright when you turn it on, and it has different features, and the light turns red and all this kind of stuff. These manufacturers took the time out to manufacture this, create this little tiny thing, and I would have never bought it if they didn't have it accessible for me to buy. If they didn't take the time out to pay and get it in these places where I'm able to see it, this would never probably ever got bought. So you have to look at your book like this book. In order for people to know that it exists, you have to push your product out there. This is your product. You have to push it out there. You have to invest in it. You have to put it in stores like KRC Bookstore or Barnes and Nobles or Amazon. You have to put it in these different places. And after you put it in these different places, then you have to promote. You have to market. You have to put a marketing strategy together. You have to determine, okay, how I'm gonna market this book at the beginning of the year. We're gonna do it as a New Year's drive. Um, you gonna we're gonna do it as February comes around, Valentine's Day. Let's market it for Valentine's Day. March come around, we got Women History Month. We got April, whatever is in April outside of April Foods. I can't think of anything else that's in April. But May, you have Mother's Day. How you gonna market for Mother's Day, and the marketing is not always giving discounts out. Marketing is, okay, in order to get this book, you get these books together. In order to have I got pair these two books up together to sell them together, or something like that, or do a trilogy with the third book. So, with that being said, I'm talking to the authors now. You have to invest, and I see it so often. I see it so often of people not investing in their product. They have a tangible item now. They've created this item. So how are you going to get it into my hand? How are you going to get it into Sue's hand? How are you going to get it into Bobby's hand? It's how you going to get it out there. You can't just put it on your desk and just think people are going to know it exists. There's a whole lot of ISBN numbers out there. They're not going to search your ISBN number and looking for stuff. So you put it out there. So I went all off on a rant, talking to my authors and so forth, because I see it so often, of people getting to that position and then they don't know what to do. And they don't want to put any more money off into it because they put X amount of dollars off into it. But, you know, to get it out there, you have to put the funds into it. It's an old saying that says scared money don't make money. So, um, Mr. Keyline, um, I think um, I'm gonna end that out as talking about those books. I'm definitely gonna come back on a different day and talk about more books. Have more guests come on to talk about their books, and that's what we're all about. So look out for the hashtag. Hashtag books are great. Hashtag books are great gifts. Hashtag support begin support. Hashtag KRC bookstore.
Yes,
So what do
ma'am.
you have? What you have for us, Mr. Keelan, before we close this night out?
I would like to piggyback on that, what you talked about with as far as authors in investing in your books. I think it's very important. It's one thing when you make a book and you tell the people and some of them will go and get it, but how does it travel beyond that? Well, some of that is asking them to tell other people, or you know putting yourself in contest, or putting yourself in the way of some of these other marketers and everything like that. And yeah, it may take money to put you out in the forefront and put you further than you're going to go, but it's almost like you're telling yourself you're pushing your money forward when
Mm-hmm.
you do that. And yeah, I mean, there's some people out here that I wouldn't trust with a dime of my money to give it to them in market, but that's where the research and the work comes in. And just take time and understand your market. If you're writing a book about a particular um, type of area, okay, study other books in that area and
Yep.
find out what has worked for them. I mean, there's a art and a science to everything, and sometimes those that art and the science are one and the same. But yeah, I definitely agree that this is definitely something. It's not for the weak. There's a lot of writers um, that we do know. There's a lot of writers that we don't know, and the difference is the marketing.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Definitely for sure. But yep, that I definitely want to put that out there because I see it so often.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
talk to people all day, every day about their books, and I hear all kinds of things that they don't want to do, or this and that and other, and and I can't tell nobody how to spend their money, because ultimately it's their money. But you're going to have to put it some kind of money down on it.
yeah,
You can't just you cut your legs off to yourself off at the ankles when you say, well, I'm not going to such and such and such and such. You have to, yeah, you have to have your limits, because everybody's budget is not the same. Everybody's
right.
funds are not the same. But here at KRC Bookstore, we're all about working with you. I have a heart for people. If I know a person is really, really trying to get that stuff out there, I will try to figure out how to work with them, how to make things happen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Keelan, thank you so much, and I'm definitely hope you will, get on with me again, and definitely
I
we need to, talk and iron out some things out, and because I enjoy,
yes,
your company, I enjoy, hosting with you, I enjoy watching you host, so I definitely calling and working with me for sure.
yes. Well, I actually think, Miss Tammy, that I could be wrong. I think I'm back on the 25th. I think. I hope. I pray that I'm
Yes,
back
sir.
on March 25th. Okay. Now, we may have to discuss maybe something
Yes,
before or after
yes,
that.
sir.
I will be here on March 25th. Now, we can talk about anything in between or beyond, but March 25th, I'm here.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Because I enjoy being up here with you guys. I actually, now that you mentioned it, I wish Miss Carolyn would have came back here. I want to see if she'd have showed up before me again. It'd be embarrassing if she had came back up here again. We could have talked about that some more. But yes, ma'am. No, I'm definitely enjoying this, and I definitely will be back with KRC, and in any capacity that would need me to be
Yes,
up
sir, for
here.
sure.
I actually have a couple
Yes.
uh, people I want to bring on at some point. So yeah, I'll definitely be back.
Okay, definitely for sure. Oh, this shirt behind me. This is one of our shirt lines. My god sister created this shirt. She said, "I read banned books." So you see that shirt right there. We're gonna be, rolling out our shirt line as well. So, lots of great things going on with KRC. Please go and check out our website www.krcbookstore.com. Please make sure you think about me for your tax preparation needs. Been in the industry for 20 years, so won't steer you wrong.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
thank you so much, Mr. Keelan, and I'll be in touch with you and send the information over to you. Thank you everybody for watching. Those who come back and listen to the replay, please hashtag replay and let me know that you're here. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. If you're interested in being part of the book fair, definitely please let me know. It is a small investment to be here, but it is a very small investment. It's definitely worth your business. So thank you so much, everybody. Everybody be blessed.
Yes, ma'am. Goodbye. Goodbye to all of you out there. See you later, Miss Tammy.
All right. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
Thank